normally, you know what I'm saying? I'll be on some conspiracy type stuff, all that type of stuff. But this is what I'm gonna call all BS aside right now. Stuff going on with Russia, Ukraine, all this type of stuff. Normally, the conspiracy stuff, the New World Order, the powers that be orchestrating it, is the normal approach for, you know what I'm saying, people like me. But this is why this really might be the start of World War III. China just lifted their sanctions on Russia import of wheat. Russia is the biggest one, no, the biggest producer in the world of wheat right now. So when you hear Biden keep saying these sanctions he's gonna put on Russia and stuff like that, the biggest truth seeker was good. Biden keep threatening Russia with sanctions. That's all we keep hearing. And to a logical person, it would tell you these sanctions threats are not holding any weight because a logical person would have already thought that if Russia and Putin, and right now we talking about all BS aside, we're not going with conspiracy. We're going right now with this. Dana Carter, how you doing? Salute to you. Hope you're doing good. Now we talking in the sense of Russia being an actual country. We're not talking about conspiracy. We're not talking about New World Order. We're not talking about that type of stuff. We're talking about Russia being a real country acting on their own merit. So Biden threatening with these sanctions, that would tell any logical person that Russia would have already thought about being sanctioned and all this type of stuff. That why are they trying to pacify us with these sanctions talk when we any logical person would know if people are not taking this serious, Dana Carter, any logical person would know that Russia would have, you would think they would have already thought about being sanctioned and said, we don't, they're not worried about it for whatever reason. So here's the real thing that's going on right now. Like I said, all BS aside, no conspiracy stuff. Right now, China just lifted their sanctions from Russia importing Russia's wheat. China actually did this a month ago, but they didn't announce it until a couple of days ago. And they announced this at a time when, right now, Russia bombing Ukraine. Russia's a big enemy of a lot of different countries right now, if you want to call it that. And with the United States being opposed to it strongly, China has stepped up right now and said we're going to allow Russia to take Russia's wheat, keeping Russia in business. Like if you don't understand what this stuff is, just on the simplest way to look at it, you sell drugs in an area. You got a boatload of dope, but you can't sell the dope in this area because the area is controlled by somebody else. If you come here and try to sell it, they're going to kill you. That's a sanction. You can't sell your dope over here. But now the neighborhood right next to you came and said, look, bring your dope over here. You can sell it here. Your good will take care of you, which keeps you in business. So what China has done is created, you know what I'm saying? And nobody cares that nuclear war is going to break out. Yeah, I believe it really might, to tell you the truth. China coming out and saying that now, at a time when all this stuff is going on, is showing their allegiance with Russia. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. So now you got to really sit here and think. We joke about it. World War III. People on Facebook making memes. I'm part of that. It's a joke. Every Americans, everything's funny to us. But if you really think about what's really going on, this really could be the beginning of World War III. Just like on a $100 bill I put on the thumbnail, the picture, there really might be a missile hit over by here and New York or wherever might be ready to get flooded out. Nobody cares that China and Russia and Serbia and Iran support Ukraine invasion. Obviously they do. I don't know about Iraq and all that, but China obviously does because you know what I'm saying. They are supporting Russia's lifting sanctions. Keys to success was good. So we got to really sit here and think, man. Like, are you prepared to be in the middle of a war, a world war, a real war? Also, I just heard that it's salute to all the mods. Keys to success. Also, I just seen that America bombed Somalia yesterday. I didn't read the story to see the whole details with that. I don't know why they bombed Somalia. But what is they doing bombing Somalia at a time when this stuff is going on right now with Ukraine and Russia? I tell you what, we better hope that there is conspiracy behind this. We better hope that this is the new world order. This is the powers that be. They have a plan to do it. The plan probably won't benefit us either way, the average people. But we probably should hope that there's something like that going on. That way, whatever's going to happen, they doing it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to really there's a country called Russia, really there's a country called China, and they're really out there doing what they want, acting on their own merit, because in that type of way, we don't know where this goes. You know what I'm saying? even if this is orchestrated by the powers that be, you gotta look at it like this. If the powers that be are orchestrating this, good luck to whoever just dropped a couple of dollars, and I appreciate you to the bottom of my goddamn heart. And hit the like button, everybody that's up in here. Look at it like this. If the powers that be was controlling this, you know what I'm saying? Well, Dana Carter, much appreciation to you as always. You know what I'm saying? I much appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. If the powers that be control this and they say, look, we're going to do what we're going to do, but we're not going to allow, to say, New York to get wiped off the map. We're not going to allow kids and babies to get killed, even though, but if this is really a different country doing this, acting on their own merit, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what to expect. These jokers might run in here and do who knows what. These are countries that are used to barbaric stuff, you know what I'm saying? America, we've been cushioned from the barbaricness, a lot of stuff that's going on in the country. You see, the biggest true secrets that World War III has already been going. It's a war against the people. This was put in government documents as early as 1965. And man, I'm sure, like I said, different wars are presented in different ways. Just because something don't always look like a war don't mean it's not a war. Obviously, black people in America, we know that wars don't have to look like war for somebody to be controlling your destiny. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares that I'm only 17, so not really prepared, but I'm willing to fight for my country because growing up, one thing I realized, America has its flaws, but the will to die for a country shows respect. The thing about America, man, is that there's great things in America and terrible things in America, but America needs to be able to be accountable for certain things in order for it to progress, you know what I'm saying, and for it to be wholesome, because you can't just keep building off of something that from the foundation is tainted, you know what I'm saying, because that's not going to lead to, it's not going to be good for everybody in the end. Logic before authority said World War III is already underway, is happening inside the body of Christ, meaning U.S., needles, poisons, etc. And like I've been saying since the beginning of this pandemic, the main thing you keep hearing is that it's all about this test. You know what I'm saying? Right before the V's came out, it was all about tested, being tested, and it kind of sounded like code wording for you are being tested internally. You know what I'm saying? Whether you believe in Christ or Islam, if you're religious or not, whatever the case may be, being tested. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the word we kept hearing going around since this started off. Everybody's being tested right now. People was being mad because you wasn't being tested, or you are being tested, or the mask or not. The whole thing is being a test of. And as far as me, like I said, I made a video because at one point, like 2 months ago, not everybody I knew, but a lot of people I knew died. Like 2 months ago, it was a record number of people that I've ever known that was dying, left and right, old, young, black, white people I knew were dying non-stop like 2 months ago. So I made a video. I said, look, regardless of what I might come on here and say about some conspiracy stuff or not, or whoever says what, I was like, look, you got to do whatever you got to do for yourself, regardless of what other people think, whether they support the shot, the you know what I'm saying, the jab or not. Or you got to make this decision for yourself. Don't let nobody else influence you. Me, myself, I haven't gotten it. I can't see myself getting it. You know what I'm saying? Even if I wanted to get it, anxiety would make me not be able to be to rest because I'll be worried about it being in my body. But that being said, at this point, I don't knock nobody for getting it if they got it. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you feel like you got to do for yourself. There's so much misinformation out there. Nobody really knows what the true information is. Both sides got enough information to where they can both prove themselves right and prove the other one wrong. We don't know, you know what I'm saying, where the truth really goes. So at the end of the day, you got to make this. I'll tell you what, like I said in the video before, I'm not ashamed to say it. I told my 15-year-old daughter, I put the decision in her hands. I said, look, you got to make this decision for yourself. I'm not going to tell you you got to get the shot or you better not get the shot. You, as a 15-year-old person, you sit here, you're going to have to make this decision for yourself. And that's what I told my 15-year-old daughter. That's how I'm carrying it with myself, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't even want to be responsible for, now if she was 5 or 10, that would be different. If I felt like she's supposed to get up, like, get it, or she don't get it, she won't get it. But at 15, I'm looking like, look, you are old enough now to where you're going to make this decision. If you want to get it, I'll take you to get it. If you don't want to get it, you won't get it. And I told her that, and that's just how. I ain't gonna comment on whether she didn't get it. I ain't gonna have to even go down there. Yeah, she didn't get it. I don't think she's gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at with it. That's how serious I look at it because regardless of what it is, we don't know what the hell's really going on. Like somebody said, that this stuff been going on. The conspiracy part and will easily go in here and say it's been orchestrated, planned for so long. But I'm just trying to keep what I'm saying now on the surface level with the information I just seen. I'm talking right now with the sanctions that China lifted these sanctions off Russia's wheat. So, like I said, all conspiracy theories aside, this is really a real explanation of how World War III really can be starting off right now. Because now you got China coming out blatantly outright supporting Russia going through what it's doing. So now, if Russia knows they got China backing them up, they don't care about like United States sanctions or whatever else is going on. Where are they going to go next? Where does this go next? You know what I'm saying? Do they go to the next country over and invade them? Do they drop a bomb on some other country? Because now they got China backing them up, so that changes everything. This is not no conspiracy theory no more. This is actual real life now. And even if it is a conspiracy, still it's still more real than it was because now they have had China come out here and say that they're backing Russia. So that changes everything. You know what I'm saying? Logic before authority said the world is a great stage. Russia is just one of the scripted control agents. That's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been said that in my last video. I mean, that's what people like me automatically assume anyway. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff I feel like is orchestrated to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Because how could it not be? But I don't even want to go down that road. There's just too much going on to where the world would have to have been extremely lucky that something crazy hasn't happened by now if it's not really all ruled by the same people. But like I always say, we never have and never will see anybody's face who really runs the world. We have never seen nobody who really runs the world. Anybody we see is not who's really controlling it. No president we've seen, no politician, no ruler, no dictator, no person in history that we know about. We have never seen nobody's face who really runs the world. I guarantee you, everybody we see is a puppet because why would it not be? The people who really run it are not going to show their own face because this shit goes wrong or something happen. You got to have a scapegoat at all times. You know what I'm saying? That's chess. You know what I'm saying? That's just logical thinking. So we have never seen nobody who really runs the world. The biggest truth said it. Secret says I'm not taking it either. He talking about the jab. Dana Carter said me too. My son and I haven't. She also said we are the last ones in my yeah. You the last ones. I tell you what, Dana Carter, the walls are closing in, yo. The walls are closing in. People that first who I thought would never have taken it have taken this thing, man, and at first there was a lot of propaganda. They were saying people was taking it that wasn't taking it. Even now, there's still lot less people that really took it than they said have. But there are really a lot of people that took it, and the propaganda they was putting out is what I think led to a lot of people taking it because they was making it seem like everybody was lining up for it. So that made a lot of other people feel more comfortable to go do it. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, a lot of people have taken it. Logic before authority. So the Greek root definition of 600, three score and six is not a number, but a stick, a prick, a scar of servitude. I never heard that before. I never heard it be said like that before. Keys just said, let's get them likes up, y'all. Hit that goddamn like button. God damn it. Hit the motherfucker. Hit that like button. Y'all in here bugging. A couple of jokers came through. It's only showing 5 people here, but at least probably 20 people passed through by now with only 6 goddamn likes. Y'all over there fucking stunting. Y'all ain't hit that button. Logic before authority said, thank you for your work. Please don't think I am trolling. Tell you the truth, I don't. My channel is not pumping like that. So if you come through here trolling, goddamn it, come and troll some more. Bring some more trolls with you. You know what I'm saying? Cause this, I'm not like they don't got my channel like my shit is shadowed. My shit is. I already been down this all this stuff already. You know what I'm saying? I got screenshots to prove stuff. Been taking them from my last channel. I don't even want to go down the whole road. But my shit been shadow banned. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna let me get to a certain extent. I put videos up like just for instance, the last video I put up that got views like that, the Putin thing with the what was it? Oh, the threat he put the message the other day. I put that up. The video got 9 views and not even 1 minute. Then it was like 20 something views and not even 2 minutes. Then once it hits 4 minutes, I got this shit calculated down to a thing. Once it hits 3 or 4 minutes, it stays at a certain number. Then it lets each view go at a certain amount of time. I got this shit figured out. Trust me, my other channel before I used to have my other channel was way more successful than this channel. You know what I'm saying? I used to have I had millions of views on my last channel. I know how the algorithm works. I know how it works when they slow you down and when they're stopping your channel because I've been doing this long enough. But that being said, I'm just saying that because God damn it, if you're trolling, keep trolling. You know what I'm saying? I really bring some more trolls friends with you. So Elijah, he said you can find that definition in the strong dictionary. I'm gonna have to look that up. I never seen that. But this stuff, man, it really might be going down. Like this really might be the beginning of World War Goddamn 3. We think this shit is a joke, and we don't see it right now because it's going on over somewhere else, the Ukraine or whatever like that. But a piece of information I seen a long time ago. I can't remember where it was. I think it was even before. It was like when a kid. I think was maybe the thought. I remember this memory I have when the United States gets invaded, it's going to be some Russian troops. And I don't know if that's because I grew up thinking. I mean, grew up being programmed with media that Russia has also always been the enemy. You know what I'm saying? If you my age, you grew up in all the movies. Russia was always the enemy. Before they made Arabs the enemy, Russia was the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And now they back all of a sudden. You know, so but yeah, the thing I seen it was Russians that was going to be on American soil killing people. Logic Before Authority said most people assume 66 is just about a number, but when you use Strong's dictionary, you will find a stick, a prick, a scar, a servitude. I'm gonna look that up. I'm definitely gonna look it up. What you're saying, because yeah, everybody always says is about a number three score six, whatever the thing is, which it's kind of weird how they come to that number, but from those words. But at the end of the day, the Bible and all that stuff, I think it all comes down to interpretation. Of course, we know it's man made. You know what I'm saying? So any joker could have put anything they want in there. And if the people that run the world now, Logic Before Authority says, sounds like a needle, doesn't it? I mean, it does. A stick, a prick, and a scar of servitude. It definitely could be one. But I think part of this needle stuff too is also a distraction of what's really going on. I don't think that was the end game about. I don't think that was the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I think this whole needle, this whole jab part of it, looking down back on it, I think wasn't what this is all about. That was only a part of a distraction for something else too. Also, you got to look at it like this too. To be a little bit into the conspiracy stuff. What if you don't know if China and Russia, along with Trizzy, you know what I'm saying, with Trump, you know Trump is Putin's boy. What if they fighting against the New World Order? You know what I'm saying, and all this is going on because that's a whole nother part of it that could actually be going on. You know what I mean? But there's a war within the powers that be. Neither one of them is for us, but one of them is less evil, if you want to look at it like that. The ones that have been there wanted to stay how it's been because they've been in control. The new power that's coming in or just taking over or that's already here got a different agenda in mind. Logic Before Authority is just a part of the Great Reset, bigger than World War III. Yeah, like I said the other day, 2/22/22 was a date that was like a sign of something. You know what I'm saying? Even Biden came out at the White House on February 22nd at 2:22 p.m., which is, how could that be a coincidence? You know what I'm saying? Well, Williams said, I had a dream that someone on the line betrayed us. That's when it turned to World War III. Someone on the line betrayed us. Logic 430 said, where we're headed is like what Noah went through as far as what Noah's Ark. I look at Noah's Ark as a coded information for a DNA database. That's why I think they said Noah's Ark. He said take everything on a boat, this and that, two sheep, this two, all these animals. I think that really is the male and female DNA of all living things on Earth. That way, when they flood this whole shit out and replenish it and repopulate it, they got the DNA database of every living thing already on this boat, if you want to call it that. You know what I'm saying? So when they start it back up, they could replenish the Earth with, because every Joker, animals, human beings can all be reduced down to the size of a seed. You know what I'm saying? Put you in a thing, a lab, recreate you. So that's what I think Noah's Ark is really about. So The elevation 47. So the moment that China jumps into the mix is when times in America will really get dark because it really stops shipments of food, electronics, etc. to the U.S. And that's what I'm talking about right now. Elevation. Because I saw an article just now on CNN. I don't know if he was here from the beginning or not, but I'll just say real quick. China has lifted the sanctions on importing Russia's wheat just last month, but they announced it only a couple of days ago. So what that's telling everybody else is that China is down with Russia. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying World War III can definitely really and hit the goddamn like button. I ain't gonna sit here and keep begging y'all, goddamn. And that's why I said that this shit is getting real now, because whether this is a conspiracy, whether it's controlled, whether or not a new world order or whatever the case may be, or if it's real, now you have China coming out openly backing up Russia. So Biden threatening Russia with these sanctions like he's been doing for the past week don't mean nothing. It didn't mean nothing from the beginning because, like I said, anybody who got a goddamn head on their shoulders would know that Putin would have already thought about that ahead of time and said, fuck it, I don't care about it or I don't need it before he did what he did. Because why would he not have? He ain't that damn dumb. You know what I'm saying? So China now lifting the sanctions from Russia because Russia's the top producer of wheat in the world. I don't know if you was here earlier when I said that. Now China said we're going to start buying Russia's wheat again. So Russia is good now. They don't need America's sanctions. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about shit like that. And that's only just them saying that. So if China's going to back them at a time like now for this, where does this go next? That's what I was talking about earlier. Where do this go next? That means China now is backing. For all we know, China might have told Russia to do this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Russia's the goon for China right now to be, you know what I'm saying, to do whatever they're trying to do. Logic Before Authority said they will attempt to exterminate 6 billion people, and it's on the Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, we've been seeing that a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? This is the Georgia Guidestones. I think they said they want to have the population to like what 500 million, I think it is, or something like that. RP said they might invade the United. That they definitely going to invade the United States. That's where this shit is going. I'm telling you. If it don't, I'll be highly surprised. And it might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen next week. But that's where this shit is going. And especially if China's doing it using Russia as a goon because they can easily dispose of Russia because they're already, you know what I'm saying? China is already a superpower itself. China owns more of America than America does at this point, I think, with the debt. Logic Before Authority said they only show us what they want us to think or believe. They only show us Biden, for instance, being an idiot. Is he really, or is this really a script? And that too, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause if you remember, right before this happened, it was either Russia or Ukraine. One or the other kept saying on the news they was like worried about the other side using media propaganda to put out fake images and fake videos of them being attacked, so that would give them the ability and reason to go really attack them. They were just saying that right before this shit popped off 2 weeks ago. They was just saying that. So that tells us that for one, this is something that they really do. Use fake propaganda and media and fake images. That right there tells us that this is something that they already do. And two, this is what might be the shit we seeing in Ukraine right now. We don't know what that shit really is about. Is they really bombs being dropped? Like whatever, but for all we know, that could be a movie production to the people over there. You know what I'm saying? It might not be that serious to them. They might be having it to them in their mind like it's a fucking production of a movie or something. We don't know what that shit's really about. But they showing us what it looks like and we think is what it's supposed to be. We don't know what that shit really might be. Just like Anderson Cooper, how many times on CNN has gotten caught in front of a green screen supposed to be in front of where this shit's going down at reporting. Next, then they unveil the fact that the Joker's in front of a green screen. You know what I'm saying? A little shit like that. So they, of course, they're only going to tell us what they want us to believe. They ain't going to tell us nothing more, nothing less. And I'm going to tell y'all to hit that goddamn like button because that shit is whack. If you haven't by now, 13 people. There's been at least 40 people that passed through here already. You know what I'm saying? The biggest truth seeker said, unfortunately, I think they are going to get what they want. One way or another, they're going to get what they want. That's one thing we do know. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get what they want because we as regular people are not, we are too far behind to, we can't do this. You know what I'm saying? We're too far behind. We're too dependent on electricity, the internet, social media. Everything we do now, we're too dependent on something else to do it for us. So if they cut the electric off, for instance, what are we going to really do just from that alone? We're done just from that. So whoever controls the electricity, like I said before, whoever controls the electric source really controls the world. Whoever controls the water source controls the world. Really, the electric, because the water, you can find fresh water somewhere. You know what I'm saying? A joker can go out into the right part of the world in the wilderness and get some fresh water or some rainwater and drink it. But you can't just go out and just find no electricity. You know what I'm saying? So whoever controls the electrical grid is really who controls the goddamn world at this point. And that's all. And that's all it takes for them to take up to cripple the average everyday person. They shut the electric off. You can't go into your cell phone and talk to your girl. You can't go on Facebook and flirt with the chick you knew 20 years ago. That right there alone is gonna make you bow down, and your fucking body's gonna crush down into a diamond because you're gonna be so stressed out. What else could you do with your life? Cause you know what I'm saying. You don't got Facebook. You don't got a cell phone. You can't text a joker. You know what I'm saying. The biggest truth seekers say they use a lot of secret society group folks to help them, and that's, you know what I'm saying. Like the whole thing in a nutshell, I'm thinking that is definitely, if you want to, the new world order, whatever you want to call it. That's just how I think. But sometimes I try to say stuff in a way that, because some people hear the word conspiracy and it automatically going to turn them off. You know what I'm saying? It automatically makes them be like, oh, this is another conspiracy joke, or it's just people talking. So people, the word conspiracy turn people off sometimes. Sometimes you got to try to come with facts that you could prove and actual knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why this video here, I named it like I named it. Told you about the thing with the wheat, with China lifting the sanctions, with Russia with the wheat. Because before, conspiracy people have been saying China's with Russia, China with back up this, that. And when you say it in a conspiracy way, it sounds good, but there's no meaning to it. But this is a receipt. You know what I'm saying? They just came out and said the other day they are lifting sanctions off Russia's wheat, which allows Russia to not give a fuck about America's sanctions. You know what I mean? Logic before this authority said, look up NROL. Our time has come, and you will see the white and red horse of Rev 6 shows on the SpaceX launch patch and on the side of the rocket. When you Google it, click out the images. That was a mouthful, man. I'm gonna have to screenshot what you said right here so I can see it later on and look it up. But I did a video before showing the map of America. It looks like a horse. You know what I'm saying? It looks like a horse that's jumping in stride. And the map of Russia looks like a horse that's stopping. I just imagine it. You know what I'm saying? I might just be thinking too much into it, but you know where the middle of America where they got the dude, if you in school they taught us, they got the chef with the hat. I ain't looking at the map right now, so I can't think of the exact states that make up the man in the middle with the chef holding Kentucky Fried Chicken, the pan, Tennessee, all that stuff, the Kentucky, the fried chicken piece. You got the chef dude in the middle of the country. That's what Mississippi, all the states in the middle of the United States, it makes a man, you know what I'm saying, standing there holding a pan with a piece of chicken in it, and that's Kentucky. That's what they taught us in school. But if you look at the whole picture, it's a man on top on a horse. You know, if you look at the whole, Florida being the front legs, Texas being the one back leg that comes down. Look at I made a video about it. You can see it in the mane and all that being a horse's front face aiming up. Like, that's just up. So I said all that because somebody mentioned about a horse. You know what I'm saying? It's like the book Behold a Pale Horse. But the conspiracy person in me tells me that none of this shit is natural. All this shit is orchestrated, planned. You know what I mean? We're getting to the point now, for one, I think, not that there's too many people in the world, because the earth, there's still much more space that's available for humans to spread out and still survive on earth. But the resources are definitely getting limited, and that's the problem, I think. They got to figure out how to get rid of a certain amount of people because the resources are being... Because also you got to think about it. I think there may be a certain amount of souls for each species of everything that's living. Because everything, half of the shit you go right now to eat at the grocery store, buy, is all from cloned DNA. Whether it's a seed, whether it's fruit, whether it's shrimp, whether it's farmed raised salmon. All this shit is cloned and genetically modified shit that we're eating nowadays. But what if there's really a limit to the amount of, you know what I'm saying, lives or whatever you want to call it that actually exist in each species? Maybe we're at the point now where it's like we're at the end of the salmon, we're at the end of all, you know what I'm saying, the fruits, the vegetables. Maybe we're at the point where all this shit now is only a couple of these things left. And that's a conspiracy thought of it. The more real part of it is we are definitely cutting down trees, you know what I'm saying, the water, everything we're doing and using is being we're using too much of it because especially in America, we are the most wasteful motherfuckers on the face of the earth. We waste so much goddamn stuff in America. It's not even funny. You go to one buffet in America and look in their trash in the buffet out back. Just that one buffet alone in America is wasting an enormous amount of food every day. Now think about a million buffets all across America. That's just buffets we're talking about. Not talking about all kind of other shit that we use and waste on a daily basis at an alarming rate. You know what I mean? Somebody said science logic before. Authority said the western third of the U.S. topography is an exact match for the rock inside the rock of the dome in Israel. Why? I am not sure, but I have a guess. You come in here with stuff, logic before authority, some shit I ain't never heard of. I mean, some shit you say I ain't never heard before. But I feel you, you know what I'm saying? Because all that stuff is up my alley. But I mean, even the stuff that we know about, just like the layout of Washington D.C., you know what I'm saying? The geometry of where everything is, the the monuments, the Dana Carter said, I'm not even nervous for me, but more so for my teen son. Yeah, that's how I feel too, Dana Carter. And that's why when I hear people having kids nowadays, I be thinking, like, you crazy to have a kid nowadays. Like, in the past, if you have a kid that's like 5 or younger, even like 10 or younger, and which I do, you know what I'm saying? It's like so terrible that the world we live in now for a child is so off tick. Like, I'm 40 years old, you know what I'm saying? I'm 40. The world I grew up in, and it's easy to forget because things happen. They get feed it to you a little bit at a time, little, so they get used to stuff in gradual little increments. But the way I grew up compared to how it is now, I really sit here and think about how different it is when I was a teenager or a kid till now. It's like a whole fucking world away. It's a whole world of difference. You know what I'm saying? This shit is like really. You went to sleep in the '80s and woke up in a whole different world. The way this shit is now. You know what I mean? I never would have thought there'd be a time where everybody walking around with a phone in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? You can pull up on a phone and look at a joker and talk to us face to face. When I was young, we had the Jetsons. Everybody thought that was just science fiction. You know what I'm saying? But lo and behold, a couple years later, because if you look at the whole thing, the whole bigger scheme of things, from the '80s till now is only 40 years. We're not talking about thousands of years in the making. We're talking about 40 years of Earth. Earth has been here for at least we know thousands of years, say millions of years, but we know for at least thousands of years. So only in the past 40 years, we went from like caveman shit almost to like some shit we're in now. So I said all that to say, having a kid in this day and age, man, is real scary because the reality we grew up in, you can only teach a child but so much because this world we live in now is not the world that we grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Dana Carter, like the stuff we can tell our kid and teach and show that's not where we are now. You know what I'm saying? This is a different world here than it was when we was young. Like for instance, when we was young, the worst thing happened to you back in the '80s, '90s. Say you go to school, you get into a fight, you get beat up. You know what I'm saying? People laughed at you. You went home, or whatever the case may be. Nowadays, these kids got to worry about not only could you go to school and get beat up. Just 1 second. Not only could you go to school and get beat up, you can actually go to school right now and get beat up on fucking live. Not only is it going to be live on Facebook and Instagram, this shit can go viral. You know what I'm saying? So now you are a product of the world. Like when I was, something happened to you at school, it's an isolated incident in your community. These kids go to school now, something happened. You can actually overnight be a person that has been embarrassed in front of the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? With a viral video overnight. This shit is not like it was when we. This is a totally different world we live in now. And that's what I'm saying. Shit like that is so crazy. Like it's a totally different existence. And now we got kids going to school with a mask on. This shit. It's like you can only tell your child right now so much if you're from my generation because we're in a totally different world. And these kids now process information different than us. They don't think no more. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say we evolved from monkeys, apes, and all this shit. But in reality, we're turning into apes and monkeys because you don't have to use your brain for nothing now. Before you had to use your brain to, if you wanted to find a number to fucking a car dealership, you know what I'm saying? Get your oil change, something, you had to go to a phone book, pick it up, look it up. find it, take you about 5 minutes to find that. Pick up a phone, dial the number. Now you just be like Google, Siri, da 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 da, or Siri, call such and such. In 3 seconds, your problem is solved. You know what I'm saying? Something that took you 5, 10 minutes before, now you take you 3 seconds. That means you're not even using your brain no more. So that got to be affecting society. And then if you got everything at your fingertips, these kids now, and even us, because now we're used to it as adults, your endorphins are at a point now to where you so used to getting what you want, and your mind is so used to being satisfied at the instant of a button, just like IG, instant gratification. You go on there, put your picture, you get instant gratification. You got jokers liking. We are so used to that now. When you don't have that no more, how do you even, you know what I'm saying, maintain and react? You saw that. That was crazy. My views, people went from 11 to 0, now back to 10. That was crazy. I don't know what the hell just happened just now, but that's why I say my channel is sabotaged. I've been sabotaged. You know what I'm saying? They've been on my shit. But I don't know if y'all saw that on y'all end or not, but this shit just went to 0 and then back up to 11, like 10. I don't know, man, but like I said, it's a different world we live in now. This is not the same world we grew up in. So it's like you can tell your kid but so much, but you really can't understand some of the problems your kid is going to have nowadays in this world we live in. Some of these comments at Logic Before Authority said, I have been a truther for 12 years on YouTube. Been subbed to you for quite a while. Just never caught you live until now. Props. Much respect to you. I appreciate that. Logic Before Authority. Yeah, I've been doing YouTube for a minute. This is my second channel. You know what I'm saying? My other channel been terminated a long time ago. And my other channel was popping. I hate getting into it, but goddamn, my other channel was my heart was really in it. You know what I'm saying? I was really up on the information. I was dedicated. You know what I'm saying? But they took a little Joker's channel down because they was on some bullshit. Then the car said that's a fact. My goddaughter's one. I don't know where the world would be for her. My son is 15, and when I was his age, shit was totally different. The 80s was better. If yo, the 80s was great. Yo, the 80s was the fucking shit. Dana Carter. God damn, I think about it sometimes. Be like, yo, I be wishing none of the shit we have now came about. Smartphones and all this technology. It's convenient and it's nice and good, but the bad thing about pleasure is that the more you get, the more you need. You know what I'm saying? It's like how and where did and eventually where does that take you? You so used to having pleasure instantly. Where does that take you at some point? At some point, you're gonna fuck. Your brain is gonna be to it's gonna like where do you go next? You know what I'm saying? In the '80s, little shit made us happy. You know what I'm saying? You see it like it be something little. You are satisfied with small shit. Nowadays, man, these kids, you gotta have a device. When we were in the '80s, we go outside, you go on your bike, you know what I'm saying? I used to have my radio I walk around with. I was Radio Raheem in my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? You know how people, the Radio Raheem seeing movie, like that was me, one of them type of people. I had my boombox, walking, meet up with my friends. We might be on a bike or not at that point. These kids now, man, need a fucking device to feel good about anything. It's like the times now. Excuse me, I got like a little cold, I think, or something. Fuck around, got the thing over here. You know what I'm saying? Might be going down. These kids now, man, is nothing like it was in the '80s. I think the '80s was way better. Like everything about the '80s was better. Even the food was better. Like cereal tasted better. Everything was different. Pop Tarts was tasted. Little shit like that. I'd be noticing as time goes on. I'd be tasting stuff now that I haven't tasted in years. Like what happened to this? Don't even taste the same no more. The biggest true secrets that I remember there not being. Wait, Dana said that about the '80s. The '80s was definitely better if you ask me in a lot of ways because it just the world was different. And another thing about the '80s too, like even like celebrities and stuff like that. Everybody it was like nowadays you can't even enjoy shit. Music come out like people you like before. Can't wait to get the CD, the album, mixtape, whatever it was. You sat with it, you bumped it. Nowadays it's like how do you even enjoy like even certain little things like that? The shit comes and goes so quick. Celebrities are not celebrities are not um what's the word like mysterious no more. Everybody's right in front of us. I like that when like your favorite artist, singer, rapper, whatever, like you had to wait to get to see the new news about him. You wait for a magazine to come out, get a little clip, of speak peek on MTV, BET, or some of those. Now it's like everything is nothing is exciting no more. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it, how could you be excited anymore? Like about like your favorite artist. Like you can go on Instagram and see the Joker's whole life every day. I don't want to see you every day. You're supposed to be famous and exclusive. You're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, a person we just see when it's time to see you. So yeah, a lot of reasons the '80s definitely was better than now, in my opinion. I could definitely go back to the '80s for damn sure. The biggest true secrets that I remember there not being internet. I'm 32. Shit, I'm 40 years old, man, and I definitely there was not no internet up there. I remember I remember the internet first came out. It was a weird thing. Dial up it was called. You had to sit there and hear a button go all this crazy shit for like an hour before you got connected. Then you couldn't have nobody else on the phone in your house. And this is when the internet first came. But before the internet, like I said, if you're not at least 30, 35, you missed the whole part of life that I feel sorry for you if you didn't get for real, for real. Dana Carter said that's a fact. Logic Before Authority said mine and your videos are not going viral anywhere because we speak the truth. And I think that's definitely a fact. Logic Before Authority, definitely a fact. They'll let people go on here and say certain shit that's like regurgitated. Or I'm not saying like I got everything. I'm not saying I'm like a powerful. I'm not saying nothing like that. But my last channel, I'm telling you, they took my not just my ideas. Other YouTubers I seen put our shit we were seeing in fucking Netflix TV shows. I made videos about this stuff before, man. They took a lot of the shit we were saying, a lot of our ideas, and made money with them shits. Deleted our channels, you know what I'm saying? So they'll have no more proof of the shit we said, and kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? Deleted our channel, had the Stranger Things, had some shit I said in there. Altered Carbon, you know what I'm saying? Like these TV shows, trust me. And then they took my channel down. Now that you got me on this, I could go on here right now and show you all the channels that got the same videos up that they took my channel down for. Major channels got these same videos up right now. It's like, so man, I don't even know. Dana Carter said we are different in a lot of ways. We care more as well. Yeah, that's another thing too. These kids don't know what emotion is no more. Like, these kids have a whole relationship on Instagram, Facebook. Like, it's so, people, if you look at people and watch them when certain news comes out, these people now don't even have emotion. A lot of us don't either no more. It hit us too. You know what I'm saying? We're so desensitized to everything going on. It's like something crazy happened and that's what it is. People go onto your post and put a praying hands or a sad face, crying emoji, and that's their way of showing emotion now. There's no real emotion behind it. They go in there, type it out, and that to them, they just showed you emotion, and that's it. And then 2 minutes later, they're posting some other shit about some other shit. All of us, you know what I'm saying? I can't even say it's all of us are like that now. We all have been taken over, or I say a lot of us. RP said Russia's gonna hit us with a cyber attack and take out the power grid. That's what I was just talking about. All it takes to take out us in America is the electricity. That's all it takes. It don't not even all this extra creative, you know what I'm saying, deep thought stuff. Just the electricity source alone wipe us out. The only people that's gonna survive for longer than 2, 3 weeks or 2 months before everything gets savaged, robbed, and all that type of stuff are the farmers. I made a video about that before, talking about the farmers are the ones that are going to survive this shit. We grew up in the city thinking you from the farm, you goofy, you laugh at a farmer. Then when I got older, I was delivering packages for Amazon 2 years ago, last year, and I started to realize that they had me going to places, these rural areas and shit, and I was like, yo, I realized like farmers, it don't even got to be farmers with big, huge farms and all this stuff. Just people who got on their land, animals, drinking source, they own that can self-sustain themselves. They the ones that are gonna be able to survive all this shit. I guarantee you, there's people out here in Pennsylvania and these farm areas, these land areas. You go to their house, drop package. I used to see people they got goats on their farm, chickens, sheep. It don't even be no big farm. It's a little area, little acre maybe, not even an acre. Some of them, that's a little area, and that's where we've been for that. People in the city, because people in the city are totally crippled by without the power grid and no electricity. We won't be able to do shit. Most of us can't even change a tire on a car. You know what I'm saying? These people grow up in the country, grow up knowing how to do all type of different life skills and shit like that. People in the city don't have no clue how to survive. None of that shit. So they turn the power off, man. That's all it's gonna take. And especially in the wintertime. They turn the power off in the wintertime. You ain't got no heat. Like what would you even do just not having heat in the wintertime alone, let alone being able to cook. If you in the city, you can't grow nothing because you in the city. You know what I'm saying? There's no grass for everybody. That's all it would take. And people don't realize that we're like a week away from that happening. As far as not, I'm talking about as far as if the power went down today, it only takes not even a week for everything available to be gone. First thing happening, everybody's gonna loot the stores. Anybody's gonna go buy what they can buy. If they gotta buy, whoever can't buy is gonna steal. So the grocery store will be empty within a couple of days if the power goes out. And that right there alone will be the start of the countdown to how long you can survive and make your food stretch out to where you're not gonna be able to eat. That right there is gonna start that off. That's not even talking about communications and the economy being sustained with the internet and electricity, all this stuff. That's not even talking about that. We're talking about just surviving off eating. You know what I'm saying? So people don't realize, man, they did that shit like a couple years ago. That was a test. They took the power out in different cities around the U.S. one by one. That shit was a drill. You know what I'm saying? Logic before authority said the Apple in the garden was symbolism for technology, all tech. This is why Apple computers sold their first PC for 666. Yeah, I did see that. Logic before authority. You said a lot of stuff I ain't heard about. I did see that one. I know that one. Steve Jobs, and I definitely know that. And I also believe that Adam and Eve, the story of Adam and Eve, is really about the evolution of atoms. It's partly, I don't believe it was about a man and a woman. I believe it was about the evolution of things that already were here. As far as there's like a big debate of evolution or natural selection, evolution, all this type of stuff, or were we what's the word I'm thinking of, interfered with by different type of beings or whatever like that. And I believe that for 100% fact. At least some people that are on Earth definitely are not from this Earth for that, and that's for damn sure. You know what I'm saying? But I also believe the atoms that were already here evolved into what some of us are right now. Logic before authority said I have been terminated 4 times and rebuilt every time. I am Shadow Band, just shy of 100K subs. I gotta check your channel out. I didn't know you had a channel. First time I seen you here, I think today. So I'm definitely have to go check your channel out. Shit, I've been stuck on 8,000 subs for I don't know how long it's been at this point. So my last channel I got stopped at 12,000. They shut me down. But I had 5 million views so quick. This channel here is like they're not letting my shit go through with nothing at all. He said RP, if they do hit us with a cyber attack, our CIA will be helping them. And yeah, the CIA, all the upper echelons, all that type of stuff. Of course, we can't trust none of that type of stuff. Dana Carter said we interacted with folks in person. Now everything is online. I tell my son that he has no friends online gaming. He doesn't know those folks. When it comes to him talking with some people, he's quiet, and that's how it be. I mean, that's what I was saying. Like these kids' whole personality and identity is online. People don't even know how to communicate no more. And even I'll say me, you know what I'm saying? Like I got myself to a point where my interaction in real life with people is so minute that, and I'm good with it. But I mean, part of that is stuff that I've been through and like shit that happened to be. But you can literally survive your whole life nowadays, get by without being in front of a real person at all, for real. You know what I'm saying? Everything is done online. These kids actually feel like emojis are their real emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they express their real emotions with emojis now. This shit is crazy. The biggest truth seeker said internet was dial up. Yeah, the AOL dial up. Yeah. Yeah, that's when it was spooky, yo. Like, if you think about when the dial-up first came out, just think about when dial-up first came out to where we are now. Notice how they fed us every step, every little bit they feed us in increments to get you used to every little thing, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't give it to you all at once. Do you think that every year, all of a sudden now they come up with new ways to be able to do stuff better every single year now? No, they've been able to do this from the day the internet first came out. They could have gave us the internet we got today back then. The government has had this technology for hundreds of years already. You know what I'm saying? It's new to us because they give it to us a piece at a time. Every year they come out with a new phone with one extra feature to make you keep wanting a new phone. But in reality, the phone that came out today could have came out 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? They've been had this technology. They use it for other stuff first, and then once they use it up for that, then they figure out a way to give it to us as a game or as a device to use for whatever. But this shit is a lot of this technology we're using is first made for war. You know what I'm saying? It's used for used to be made to be used in war. A lot of these video games and shit is made. It was actually used in war and war type shit. Maybe not war being fought, but programs that do to carry out nefarious acts and shit like that. Once they conquer it, do what they got to do with it, and they give it to us in the form of a video game. You know what I mean? Or a phone. Logic 4 Authority said the truckers are saying that they're going to shut down all the border crossing. This will cause the shelves will go empty in 3 days. Yeah, that alone, that's another thing going on. These trucks going on. I mean, just that alone, you know what I'm saying? But now I seen the other day, they got these trucks coming out, self-driven trucks now. They say coming out within a couple of years. And I seen they got robots taking over Joker's jobs at fast food too. You know that now. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and they could have been did this type of stuff, but that's why they got to get a certain amount of people out of the way in society that they can do this type of stuff. Because if you got too much of like a criminal society mentality running around, you can't do all these new things they want to do because jokers could be criminals. You know what I'm saying? Disrupt it, steal it, whatever the case may be. But that's why they got to get a certain amount of people out of the way. Just like with the Amazon delivering with these drones and shit like that. They really do want to do that, but they can't really do that now because there's too many people out here running around that'll steal them and do all kind of extra shit. So you know what I'm saying? Dana Carter said, "Not even gonna lie, I miss your other channel. They've been playing with you. Yeah, they messed my shit up, man. My other channel, I was dedicated because that was when my other channel when it first came out was the person you see on there was a person that has been going through a lot of stuff for years, a lot of information I've been, you know what I'm saying, taking in for years, a lot of shit I came across. And when you see me on the first channel, that was me finally for the first time, um, finding other like-minded people. You know what I'm saying? That's who I was when my channel first came out, my other channel, because all this shit I've been holding in for mad years, and all this shit I was learning. When you try to tell it to people you know, like your family and shit like that, most of the time they're not trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, or people think you crazy. Like, so when I came to YouTube for the first time back then, that was me for the first time finding like, oh shit, there's other people out here that think like I think, and that's why I was really dedicated and really into that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I had different energy on the other channel, and it was like a totally different thing back then. Also, my lifestyle was different back then, so I had more time to just, you know what I'm saying, think about whatever I wanted to think about, and then go and whatever. But yeah, that was the good old days. Dana Carter, them shits is long gone. Them old days is done. Logical authority says Noah was the only pure DNA man feeling before the flood, and now they are altering DNA again with the needles. Yeah, that's what they saying. You know what I'm saying? I can't say I believe every single thing they're saying about the needles with the RNA and the DNA and all. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I definitely believe it's possible, but and also you got to keep in mind. This other thing we got to keep in mind with some of this conspiracy stuff when it comes to like medical stuff and just things in general. There's different levels of conspiracy people. Then you got people like me come out, but there really is people out here that have the ability to put stuff to the test. Like people like me, we consider it to say what we think and this and that, but to the powers that be, even though the ones that are they're running the whole thing, there really are people out here that can get a hold of a shot sample and go test it themselves. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. There's really people out here that are paying attention to the information that somebody like me might not know about. I might be on here blurting out some conspiracy. I think just shooting half shot. You know what I'm saying? Half ass type shit. But then there's really people out here that not only will be thinking what I'm thinking, but have way more knowledge about it, have the ability and resource to go find out about it, test it, see what's really going on with it. So there's always that element that's out there too. So to the powers that be, this shit gets real tricky because like within that's why it's like within the powers that be, it's like a war going on within the powers that be. Sometimes it's not as simple as them versus us or them versus. Sometimes it's them versus them, and both of them against everybody else or against us. There's a lot of different layers to this shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more going on than just us feeling how we feel like we seen about the DNA stuff and stuff like that. I'm definitely saying it's definitely possible. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if it's really, I don't know, man. Because also you got to realize they got these instruments, the stuff that's available to to the average everyday person. We don't have the ability to get a hold of some of the technology they got, the instruments. They might have stuff that's so small to be able to detect that even people that's out here with the ability and knowledge to test it might not have the equipment to be able to test it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So what else you said? Oh, you said oh yeah, with the needles and stuff. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying about that. Who knows? I don't have enough knowledge to say for sure, but who knows? I definitely don't dispute it. Biggest truth seeker said we fall into every roadblock and no and booby trap these folks are setting. Yeah, because we out here, we all in goofy land, man. Like all of us, we are all in goofy land on the internet. We just are, all of us, man. Like no matter how much we know, there's way more. It's crazy, man. That's why me, I just at this point I've been. Do I got hope and stuff? Yeah, but at the same time, there's it's too late. Like it is. There's nothing we can do. There's been nothing we can do. I know that sounds bad to some people, but we can't do shit about whatever they're gonna do. All we can do is to try to adjust and survive to whatever they're gonna do, whatever happens. Ain't nothing else to do. We don't. We wasted too much time with already. You know what I'm saying? Even with right now, we sitting there communicating. We might think we building on something knowledgeable, intellect, or whatever we doing, or whatever it is. But we gotta look at it also too. We're over here while we're doing this. Some other shit's going on that we have no clue about. Because even by them letting people go on YouTube and say the shit that we type, whatever people want to say, by the time they let us do it, they already have it controlled. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be laughing sometimes when I be seeing people think they got their own business because they got a YouTube channel and this and that and a website. Which I'm not knocking nobody. Yeah, it's your own, but at the same time, you gotta understand they pull the plug on that shit whenever they want. Especially if you only got a YouTube channel, that's your only source of income. You think you in business, dude? Take it from somebody that been there. They will pull the plug on you instantly whenever they want, and it might be for some bullshit, some shit you ain't even do. Trust when I tell you, YouTube is not a form of business. I mean, yeah, if you can pay your bills, but make no mistake about it, this shit ain't yours. This is theirs. No matter what level you are on YouTube. Logic Before Authority said, brother, I gotta run. Thank you for your time, Dean Alexander Cannon. I'm gonna go check out your. I know you ain't here now, but I'm gonna go check out your channel, Logic Before Authority. See what you're talking about over there. Biggest Truth Seeker said, incrementalism, incrementalism is what he said. I want to make sure I say that right. Yeah, and that's how they do everything. Increments, every little thing. That's how that shit has been going. Because your mind would be blown to go from A to Z, something to take over. But if they get A, B, C, all the way down to Z, by the time you get to Z, you don't realize you've been changed and morphed into a whole different. You know what I'm saying? You a whole different joke, a whole person, a whole different thing. And that's all they've been doing. But I'm about to get up out of here. But Biggest Truth Seeker said, this link is how the world. This link. Watch this link when you get a time. So this link is how the real world works. Brian Lee, what's good, man? What's good, man? Oh, this link right here. Damn, I hope I. Oh yeah, cause I could see. Somebody told me too in my the live chat don't be coming up in the replay. I try to fix it. I don't know why I don't, but I can see it. You know what I'm saying? So once the I'll be able to go on and click on that. So I'm gonna see what you're talking about with that. The Biggest Truth Seeker. Kellen Cho said, I remember when you had your old channel. You was too late. He said, the old channel. You just sitting there reminiscing about it, man. The motherfucker old channel, man. That's when you saw the real me. I was really into this shit, man. I was in it. I was on it. And my channel, I think I was one of the first people who don't have a topic as my channel. I go in here and say whatever the fuck I want any given minute. You know what I'm saying? I might talk about some hip hop shit one day. Come back an hour later with some political shit. Come back 2 hours later with some deep, dark, conspiracy, creepy shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just I had all my shit on the same thing, and I was one of the first people that was doing that. You know what I'm saying on YouTube. And there's another thing. And believe it or not, I was one of the first jokers on here showing my face on YouTube. That's the other thing. A lot of these people you see now, these so-called tough guys and all the like my other channel, back then I thought I was still a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? I was still on some street shit. It was different, but jokers wasn't showing their face like that. I was one of the first. I wasn't the first, but I was one of the first ones that came out saying the shit I was saying, showing my face on YouTube. A lot of people was only talking behind the scenes. You didn't see people's faces like that back then, talking the shit I was talking. A lot of these jokers was only a voice over a picture or a voice over a video. I was one of the first that came out here and showed my face on YouTube, talking the shit I was talking. Believe it or not, we talking what 7 years ago, whatever it was. When it comes to the conspiracy type shit, because a lot of people don't they be feeling like they don't want to look crazy or look. I was on some fucking shit when I first came out. Not worried about saying nothing. I was saying, you see who I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I look weird, crazy, whatever you want to talk or say. I was there, front and center, on camera, saying the shit I've been saying, and I was one of the first ones doing that shit. Where the bodies were being tossed, nobody there once glanced at the camera. I think it's BS. And I didn't see that. What are you talking about? Bodies being tossed where? And hit the goddamn like button too if you're up in here. If you came through and hit the like button yet, you're bullshitting. Hit the like button. Goddamn. 14 likes, 10 people, but at least probably 60, 70 people probably passed through here and left already. You know what I mean? Give a joker a like just because. Whether you like what I'm saying or not, goddamn it, hit the motherfucking button. Do yourself some good in life. You know what I'm saying? Brian Lee said that. I don't know a video you talk about. Now they got a video they're talking about the ghost of Kyiv, I guess they're calling it now. This jet fighter dude over in Ukraine supposedly had went around and shot down 6 Russian planes already, or whatever they're saying. They call it the ghost of Taif, Vaiv, or whatever. I don't know if that shit's real or not. So back when Trump was running for office, speaking of Trump, Kyle showed my old channel. The first video I ever made that really put me into the shadow being on my last channel, the very first video where I noticed something was weird, was a video I made about Trump and Hillary Clinton being related. It goes all the way back to a queen and wherever the fuck it was. I had all the information on the channel, all the documents. That was the first video I made that was weird. After I made that video, my channel was never the same after that. I was talking about all kind of weird, crazy, creepy shit, whatever. But when I made that video about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton being related, that was when my channel started acting up, my last channel. Because all that beefing they was doing, the election, all that shit going on, that's when I found that information. They both go back to a queen. Was it Victoria? It was somebody. I can't remember. I don't want to say the wrong name. But I had all the documents, all the information, did all the research on my last channel. That was the video. That was the first time I seen something weird happen on my last channel. That was the first time I noticed the algorithm was doing different shit on my channel. Before that, it was my shit was going a certain way the whole time. Certain, I already had it figured out. Once I put that video up about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump being cousins, that changed my last channel. Ever since that channel, ever since that video, my channel had problems after that. You know what I'm saying? That was years ago. That's when they was both in the election going back trying to be the president or whatever. This is after I already put up videos with the Skull and Bones. You know what I'm saying? How Kerry, John Kerry and George Bush was running against each other. They both was a member of Skull and Bones. You know what I'm saying? They both were coming from the same camp. You know what I mean? Yeah, Kellen, I was on fire back. I was coming with all type of shit like that. The Bilderberg Group information, you know what I'm saying? Cause back then it was still kind of new to people. I went through that shit so many years ago. Now when people talk about it, it's not really exciting to me no more because I've been there and done that years ago. The Bilderberg groups, the reptilian type shit, the Illuminati, Trilateral Commission, all this shit I've been through. The Bush family history, you know what I'm saying? Prescott Bush, Operation Paperclip, all this stuff, 9/11. I did this shit years ago, and now to me it's like I got to the point where it's just like, with all that we know, we still are doomed. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I'm about to get up out of there. I've been here way too goddamn long. I appreciate everybody that came through. But like I said, to recap real quick, what the video was really about, this whole Russia shit with China. China has now announced that they lifted sanctions off Russia import of wheat. Russia is the biggest producer of wheat in the world. Until last week, well, really, China did that last month, but they didn't announce it until now, this week after Russia started invading Ukraine. So now what that means is that Russia was in trouble up until that point. Once China did that deal with them and allowed them to start shipping their wheat there again, that opened Russia back up for not needing the U.S. sanctions, whatever sanctions the U.S. is trying to put on Russia. It don't need that because it has China backing them up. So that's why now we really may be in the start of World War III, because not only China might be using Russia as a goon, they could just be simply sitting aside, assisting them in whatever ideology that Russia is trying to do on its own. Whether China has influence on the ideology and the plan, either way they're showing that they're showing their alliance, their allegiance with Russia, and that right there alone is bad enough. You know what I'm saying? That's enough for concern right there alone. It don't matter if it's a conspiracy theory. It don't matter if it's the New World Order, powers that be controlling it. How, whether it's them on their own, really being their own separate countries, making their own moves. However you want to dice it up, it's concerning because whether it's going to be the real reason why Russia can do what they want, or this is being used to implant the idea to us that it's a reason that we have to accept so we can digest the information now that we have a reason to blame it on. Either way, that's where we're at right now. So this World War, this shit really could be popping off right now because U.S. does not want China going against it. There's been shit behind the scenes, whether it's real or not. Whispers of China going to take over eventually. You know what I'm saying? China already owns how much of the U.S.'s debt. Remember there was a time when it was suspected that a lot of the Chinese were putting lead in toys. You know what I'm saying? That was like years ago. I remember that came out because China makes all of our shit. They was supposedly putting poisonous lead in the kids' toys and all that shit. I don't know if you remember that years ago, but this is probably like 10 years ago, I think, at this point. Basically saying they've been on the low doing things to take us over little by little that we didn't see. You know what I'm saying? So that's been going on, but now they have come out and made it public. So that's a problem because now once you make something public, where do you go from there? You know what I'm saying? When somebody shows you that they're your enemy in public, now it's different. Brian Lee said it won't let me post the link. Somebody else put a link in here. You know what I'm saying? It should let you put it. Unless they on that bullshit. You know what I mean? Somebody definitely put a link in here earlier. They said it's on Infowars. Infowars and shit. I forgot all about Alex Jones. God, I totally forgot about Alex Jones. Alex motherfucking Jones. What a character. The 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 uh the so-called whistleblower of the Bilderberg group. You know what I'm saying? Which definitely wasn't no whistleblower. That was him putting that information out was part of the plan, of course. Because believe it, if an organization that strong with that many secrets going on, is not going to have the ability. They're not going to leave open the window of opportunity for a regular, average, everyday joker to jump the fence of the Bilderberg group and film them doing the sacrifice they was doing by chance. You know what I'm saying? That just doesn't make sense. So we know that Alex Jones, yeah, he put it out there, the information, but that was part of the plan. I did a video about Alex Jones, breaking down the gematria of Alex Jones, where he's from. Um, Bill Hicks, right there, Count said Bill Hicks, aka Alex Jones, Mr. Double Agent. I got a video about all that shit. I think it's on this. When this first channel first came out, I think I put it on there. But definitely in my last channel, I had all this shit on there about Alex Jones, aka Bill Hicks. All this shit. I think I do have one on here. Matter of fact, from years ago. So although Alex Jones definitely brought some information into the forefront, it was the information they wanted us to know through Alex Jones. You know what I'm saying? Biggest True Secrets to that link I posted earlier was about 10 minutes long. I'm gonna definitely click on that when I'm done. But yeah, man. And Alex Jones was also used to for all the censorship when this shit was going on with him a couple years ago. That's when all the YouTube advertisement shit was going on. That's when they started coming in with all the like. I tell you, I was on YouTube apps. Yeah, the Pizzagate thing, Alex Jones, Donald Trump coming out what he was saying. All this shit was all this shit was used to put these restrictions that they got on here now. This shit was, if you just see it in a line as opposed to a bunch of random things, you can see this shit clearly. You know what I'm saying? He was used to bring in the biggest truth seeker. That's what I was just saying about Alex Jones supposedly jumped the fence at the Bohemian Grove. You know what I mean? Filmed him, bought us the video. Like, but do you think it's possible that people that who are in positions like that will not be secure enough to not allow a Joker to jump the fence with cameras and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, they really not that secure. You over here doing this ritual in front of this owl, burning up a so-called fake baby. But whether the baby was real or not, just the image of what they was doing was already creepy enough. So you're not secure enough to just let an average everyday Joker jump in there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we know that that him leaking that information was part of the. They set that up for us to see that because they wanted us to see. You know what I'm saying? That's for goddamn sure, Calencho. If they didn't want the Joker, if he wasn't part of it, we would never would have. And if we did see the video, we never would have saw the Joker again. He would have been done. You know what I'm saying? They would have took his ass out. There's no doubt about that. That's just a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? Even if by chance he really did infiltrate it, he wouldn't have been alive to tell the damn story. That's for goddamn sure. But that being said, Infowars did bring a lot of information to the table. Some of it was bogus, but some of it was legitimate information. Cause they gotta give you they gotta give you enough truth to keep you entertained, to keep you engaged. You know what I'm saying? They can't just give you all bullshit because the spirit in you senses the truth when it sees it. It might not be able to dissect all the bullshit around it, but it does sense that there's some truth in there. That's why they give us part of the truth mixed with a bunch of lies because your spirit will identify the truth by accident sometimes. They're the biggest truth seekers said, hell no, they would have gunned that Joker. They wouldn't even have gunned him down. They would have showed up with a needle, the heart attack gun, like they do have, you know what I'm saying? Shot him with that. Um, a number of different ways they would have did to take him out. There's no way they would have let him walk around after that. But yeah, I gotta go. I've been on here way too goddamn long. I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking almost 2:30. But I appreciate everybody that came through here. You know what I'm saying? Watch your back. This shit might be ready to get real. If just got to be on point. They talking about gas about to be up to $5 in a couple months, man. I'm already struggling out here with 380 where I'm at. That's bad enough. You know what I'm saying? The Major View said, brother was good. I appreciate you coming through the Major View. It's bad enough as it is, man. Yesterday I filled my car up, $60 to fill my car up yesterday, man. And that shit is a hurt piece. You know what I'm saying? That shit is tough. But so if we go to $5, you're talking about $70, $80 to fill up a car, a truck. You know what I'm saying? It's getting real out here, man. All you can do is try to do your best. Do what you got to do every day. Stay out the way of these jokers, man, and these fakers. Stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Try to maintain. Hit that goddamn like button before you dip. If that's part of it. If not, then you definitely ain't gonna be wholesome. And shout out to everybody that came through, man. And that's about it. About to get up out there. Be safe, everybody out there today.